Hey you, welcome in. I am so glad you decided to come to the Renfaire with me this year. It's gonna be so exciting. As you can see, I'm mostly ready, so this is about you. This is about you today. Are you planning on switching your attire? Okay, I mean, you can always go the time traveler vibes, but I have an entire collection of things that I've thrifted over the years that make really, really great for Renfaire costumes and stuff like that. And then I've also prepared a bunch of accessories if you have need for any of them, depending on like what your vibe may be. And also, like, this is like subjective to what I think, so if you're not liking anything by the end of this, you're totally welcome to like raid my closet, raid my boxes, and see if you find anything a little more your style, right? Okay, so first things first, do you want me to show you and then you can start to kind of like build a character off that, or do you have something in like mind and I can see what would work for that? Okay, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'll start with showing you and then we can build from there. I like that. So first things first, I think what is perhaps like the most required iconic piece in any like Renfarer goer's closet is a linen shirt. Now, this one has pockets, which I usually use because they are like working pockets. I totally tend to use them to my advantage and put some fun stuff in there. But it is great whether you're trying to look like a pirate, like the town drunk, like an adventurer, like a royal, anything. You can dress it up or dress it down. As you can see with this one, it's a little crinkled. I'm a big believer that adventurers don't have pressed clothes, but if you wanted to go as more of like a royal, we could totally press it before we go. Non-issue. With these shirts anyway, if you try to press them in advance, awful. So this is the first option. This can be layered under literally everything. And I've picked out like two things that I think could be like really cool kind of main item like vibes to what you've got going on. So I'll start with showing you pieces and then I'll show you like the two big items. But this is piece one. Just a nice linen shirt. It's pretty long, so if you wanted to tuck it into any pants or anything like that, totally doable. Or into a skirt. Whichever. And it is super soft, relatively light, definitely thicker than a lot of linens that I have seen in the past when it comes to the like cuffs and collars. It's double layered. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about like rolling up sleeves or tucking or anything like that. Extra thick there. But the rest of it is pretty single-sided. This square back here up at the shoulders seems to be double lined, which is great. Yeah, it's a really good, super basic plain piece. So if you'd want to wear this, this is totally available. And then beyond that, we have something that is kind of like could be both hyper specific and also like completely malleable into like whatever you want. They are some wavy pants. Now, these are great for a myriad of things. There is no belt, which is great because then you can customize however you want your belt to fit or anything like that. They're elastic, so you don't need to wear one if you don't want to. There are pockets, and these look great if you're going as a sailor or a hobbit or something like that because they're very straight-legged. So if you wanted to tuck them into a boot, they look super cute. They totally give the little like puff. These ones are great in warm weather. They're super thin, very breathable, but still really good quality. So if you would like to wear pants, these are totally an option. Super plain all the way down. These Actually, these were originally purchased with the intention of wearing them as like a business casual outfit. So you can totally dress it up or dress it down, which I think is great. And the fabric is very breathable, but it's heavy enough that it holds in place, so it drapes really well. So that's our next one. And then this next one is a little more specific, I have to admit. I picked this up at a thrift store, and I thought it was just perfect. I wasn't going as a hobbit this time, but for a hobbit, it's just ideal. It is actually titled Authentic Riders Jeanswear, and it is a pretty thick shirt. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be worn while riding horses, but I thought it was just so cute, especially the sleeves, like under a white vest or even like a leather vest. I think it'd be so cute if you're trying to kind of go for that like small shire vibe, you know. And very basic detailing all around, so you can layer without anything looking weird. And I'd say it's a pretty like thick shirt, so it's definitely something that will not get messed up by the fair or anything like that happening to it. Definitely meant for outdoor wear, but I just thought it was too cute not to show you. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of floral prints and like accents like that, especially if you're going as someone that's a little more like booky or garden adjusted. It could look really great as like a scholar or a gardener. So that is also an option for a piece. And then we have something that I think was a real find. Now, when it comes to hobbits, there's a very specific like range of clothing that you have to stay in, right? So I thought this little frumpy skirt was totally in that zone. It's kind of like a mid-length skirt. You could get it lower for sure if you wanted to not wear it high-waisted. I tend to with this one, but it is a nice mid-length fabric, or kind of between thick and thin fabric, but it hangs beautifully, and it is just a perfect underpiece under a corset or a vest or anything like that. Would also look great under a cloak, and it's a really nice neutral. You can see the stitch on it here is pretty, like there's no holes in it, but it's accentuated. You can see what the stitch is supposed to be, which I think really adds that nice, like, medieval, homemade sort of vibe. So, that I think is a great find. It does zip in the back, but it is elastic, so it's really, really comfortable to wear all the time, which I think is great. So that is also an option. Now we are getting out of the piece zone. Those ones are the ones that I really feel are like character pieces, you know, like you can really build something out of that. If you're looking into something more basic, like wanting to go for kind of a rogue or thief vibe, I have a very large collection of just like black attire that you can totally mess around with. I just think that's a little less fun to like show you and discuss, you know. So, up next, we have something that I think could look so cute. Of course, in any Renfaire's closet, There's always one. It is a cloak. You can see at the front here, we do have a really, really nice cloak clasp. So if you want to wear it without the clasp, you can totally do that. It comes off. Or if you want to wear it kind of tied in the middle and both hanging back, that's great too. This cloak is one of the square cut ones, so you can throw one shoulder over, throw the other shoulder over, keep both behind your shoulders, keep both in front. The tag helps to make sure that it's not going anywhere. I got this at one of my first Renfairs, and they set whatever little metal emblem you pick onto a color of leather of your choice, and then you get to have it with your cloak. Sometimes I wish I would have gone for a slightly darker color, but I like that it stands out a touch. And the cloak is waterproof, or water resistant, excuse me. So totally good if there's a little bit of rain, not great if there's a lot of rain, but it's so much better than having to wear a coat. This tends to go to about like mid-calf on me, so it's, if you were like taller, it would probably be a shorter cloak, but luckily I'm not. It is the one of the good ones that has a very large hood, so it can drape and give you a bit of a triangle in the front, and of course it's in that iconic forest green. So this is totally an option if you'd like to take this. If you don't, I think I probably will, so you know. And I also have another one of the cloaks in black. However, the one I have in black doesn't have a clasp in the front. It's like completely closed on the front. So if you want to go for a cloak, but you don't have to worry about what you're wearing underneath, that's a really good option for that. It definitely looks like less exciting to show because it is just like a flat piece of clothing, but definitely an option. And lastly, for possibilities, we have possibly one of my most proud finds at a thrift store. It is a dress with ties on the side, and not only is it just a dress, it is from Epic Armory, who literally designs LARP clothes. So it is very, very safe to wear in the elements. It is kind of a similar material to the cloak, so definitely water resistant. And there's a couple little flaps in here. The actual opening of the dress. The side you can lace up on both sides, and the laces are similar on the sleeves, which I think is such a gorgeous touch. There are also a double-lined hidden seam all the way down the dress, so everything is made sure that it's not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna rip on you, it's not gonna tear. It is definitely made to be worn while running around outside. There are some kind of thicker panel-y vibes in the front that really kind of make it look like you're wearing some sort of like smock. It's super cute. So this is definitely a really good choice. You can dress it up or dress it down. I do have a black little like fake corset top. It's one of the underbust ones that you could totally rock with this. A couple heavier belts would look super cute as well. It's a very nice like staple to have, I feel, just because you can do so much with it. So that is also an option. And if you're not seeing anything you like and you want to go for more of like the thief rogue, I have a ton of basic black as well. So, now that you've seen kind of what we're working with pieces, I have a bunch of accessories that I figured I'd show you as well, just to kind of like see how you're feeling, and then we'll talk about like what makeup I need to adjust, and I'll give you a couple like tips. So, first thing, this is a small thing, but I think it's fun. This is a chainmail bracelet. It is made of a super lightweight metal, and I actually got it in my most recent Renfaire. I love the way it sits. It has a nice little bit of extra something, while still kind of keeping it in code, in character to what we're doing. Don't actually know what kind of metal it is, but it is crazy lightweight, so you definitely have to make sure that it's still there, because I think it's just totally the thing that you could forget. So this is an option. We could also attach this to a belt or any sort of like pouch for just a little bit of extra added, like a look, a little bit of an accessory hanging anywhere. I thought for a little while that I was actually going to learn how to make chainmail. It's really difficult, and super time consuming, so I decided not to. So this was my little bit of like a gift for me for, not picking up another super large, time consuming hobby. But I think it's really, really cute, and it's a totally great way where you can see how chainmail moves, looks, acts, all of that sort of stuff, which is fun. So that is an option. Then I also have, kind of continuing the route of smaller stuff, an assortment of pouches. Of course. These we can attach to anything. This one currently has a bunch of little stones in it. Would look great on a belt or on the side of a bag or anything like that. And this is the only like impractical one. If you wanted to take out the rocks and put something else in, we could totally do that. But the two more that I have for you, one of them has a set of dice, of course. So you need to understand, for your first Renfaire, everyone is a nerd, and you could very likely be challenged to a game of Rollies on the fly, so you need to be prepared. These are a rather like cheaper set of dice, but they're so pretty. So if you lose it in a game of Rollies, I'll be sad, but not like in dead, right? If someone challenges you to a game of Rollies, you grab the 20-sided one. Okay? All these other ones are just for fun. It's the one with the most sides. Can you show me that you're listening and pick it out if I show you this? Can you tell me which one it is? This one. Great job. Great job. Okay. Quiz passed. Good. You will not completely embarrass me if that happens. Oops. So we'll give you these to carry around just in case. Remember, even if someone sounds super fun and cheery, you need to listen to what they're saying, because you could be gambling for something real. Then next up, I have my own personal tiny little bag of trinkets. So what I like to make in preparation for a Renaissance fair is a bunch of little wax seals. I think it is super fun and a fun thing to trade. I traded a couple of them last year and got a little wire sort of pendant with a small stone inside, a tiny bottle of a little pendant rainbow quartz that has a hole drilled through to be worn as a pendant. So, if you see someone trading trinkets, the first thing you want to do is come grab me, because I love trading trinkets. And I do these every year, and then I tend to bring like a couple relatively bigger things to trade just in case, but most of the time I like trading these. I think they're fun, and definitely a lot more fun for me to trade personally than like an actual thing that I bought. So they're cute. So if you see someone trading, usually they're on the ground with a blanket and a couple different spread out things. Sometimes you'll play games for it. Sometimes they'll just do trading flat out. If you see someone, you come get me, and then you can trade whatever you want. So these I'll be splitting half with you. And if you want to bring anything else, that's fine, but homemade is usually the way to go. So if you have anything that's relatively like something you make, that could be fun. And we'll definitely be attaching a couple of these to your belts. Next up, depending on what you pick and how cold it is, I will be equipping you with some fleece tights. I also have fleece leggings. They are fleece lined on one side, and on the other side just look like tights. So they're really, really great if it's going to be super crazy cold. And they'll feel nice and warm. They are so good to go under pants, under skirts, under anything, depending on how the weather gets. Last year I went, it started raining partway through, and I was the only one with these on, and it was great. So these are an option for you. If not, like, normal leggings could be fine, but the fleece lined ones are really where it's at. So now I have a couple more, like, kind of close to character-ish options. I have these really cute little fingerless gloves. These look great if you're going for adventurer or someone that is like just kind of more of a normal townsperson. I think they're so cute. They have a little bit of something going on your hands, and also they'll keep you warm if it's going to be cold. So practical props, always a win. Then I have a couple different scarves. Now, these you can choose to go completely without, but you can never have too many drapey fabrics. So, firstly, I have this beige one. And this one is really good if you wanted to just wear it draped over your shoulders, under a cloak, on top of a cloak. If you're doing one of those characters that likes to hide their face, these work really, really well because they add the nice drapey effect and keep you warm. So, depending on what your vibe is, right? I also have the similar one in red. Both of them are super light, so they sit really well. They drape really nicely. And I have a heavier red and black one as well, if those would be more your style. This is the lighter red one. They're also pretty wide scarves, so if you wanted to like make a sort of like drape on the waist or a skirt sort of thing out of it, you could totally do that as well. Or if you wanted to wear it like a shawl, also totally doable. Because there's a lot of fabric here. So if you wanted to kind of wear it on your shoulders, doable. Now, next up, I have a scarf that is a little less style, a little more purpose, and it is a little like purple, black, and white plaid with orange stripes, and it is wool. So this one is great if you are debating on possibly being too cold but wanting to kind of style it up a little bit. I used this one when I was going as more of an adventuring type. And again, lots of fabric here, so good if you want to have part of your face covered or anything like that. and it is super soft. Actually, I think I might have lied about it being wool, because normally I'm a little more allergic to wool. I think this is not that. It's cashmere, but it's not completely real cashmere, if that's of any consolence. But super soft, very nice. And on the other side, it is just plain, more plain purple. There's no orange stripes on the inside. So if you wanted to wear it that way, you could totally do that as well. Then, when it comes to storage, you could be one of those people that goes with a fanny pack, which is like kind of the true neutral vibe. If you're going to be one of the people that goes with a backpack, the chaotic side, I don't want any of it. I don't want any of it. Don't bring a backpack. However, I brought, in case you did not bring a fanny pack, another thrift find. This is a leather traditional messenger bag, but it can also totally be worn as a backpack because of the way the straps work. I've had this for a good couple of years now. It feels like something that used to be possibly a biker bag or something like that, just because of how big the straps are and the clips. So, but it has a bunch of pockets in it. I used it for a Hobbit cosplay a couple of years ago. It is originally from Fossil brand. I don't know anything about them, but they make a nice bag. So this is an option for you. And you can totally see how it could be worn as a backpack too, right? It's just so cute. Totally good either way. And then I also brought for you a little, like, sort of wizard's tome looking journal. So if you wanted to go a little more that direction, I felt like I didn't have many things that looked really, like, proper and put together. So I figured I could at least give you this to kind of help. The pages are super rustic looking, which is so cute. And I can totally equip you with a quill and portable ink, well, if you'd like to go this route. So, now that you've seen everything that I have to offer, what do you think you want to go as? Nice. Okay, good stuff. I like what you've got going on currently for makeup, but in, like, conjunction with that, do you think that you'd either want to be, like, kind of gussied up or, like, grimed up? Because obviously I'm going for a little more of the, like, sort of pretty elf mage vibes, you know? So I didn't put any, like, dirt or smudges or anything like that, but I can see what you have gone for is a little more neutral. So I could totally, like, either add some glitter or add some grime. What do you think? Okay, great. Yeah, let's do that first so that when you can get into your costume, you are already put together. Yeah, I think we'll use this brush here. Of course, well, I don't mind using freshly cleaned brushes, but I know some people feel weird about it, so I have some new ones literally just for you. They should work perfectly for what we want to do. So if you could just let me know kind of what your vibe is first. Do we want to be, like, really out there or a little more like kind of calm down? Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Now let's start there. I have my palette here, so we'll just... And then I think I'm going to start on this side, and then you can tell me what you think, and we'll go from there, okay? Now, I remember a couple years ago, my good friend and I went as fairies, and I did not have my glitter ready, so she did it for me in the car, and this totally is reminding me of that. And then let's go just a little. Okay, nice. So how are you feeling about that? Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Let me do a little bit more on this side just to match that side, and then we'll be good to go. Yeah, so I think that's looking really, really good. I really like the base you started with. I honestly didn't have much to go off of, or I didn't have much to touch up, but I think you look really perfect for it now. Do you have anything that you're excited to buy? Great choice, great choice. Yeah, I got these ears last year, and I think they're so cute, and I love them a lot. I think I kind of want a tankard, but I'm like super picky with those, so I don't know if I'm gonna find like the one yet, but keeping an eye out, Last year there was, of course, all of the more traditional sort of Renfaire foods and all of that, but there was also someone who was making hats from scratch at the Renfaire. And they would like measure it to your head and then add, if you wanted like feathers or anything like that, you could choose, which is so cool. I didn't do it because it was expensive, but it was really neat. Yeah, my partner got picked for a demonstration. It was really funny. And take someone who's like, it was his first time going to one as well, so it was fun. But yeah, so I think now you can just go get dressed, and then you can figure out what to do from there. If you want to just take off, or if you need any more touch-ups or anything like that. But you look amazing already, and I am so excited to see what you come up with all of this. I'll just put it all right in the bathroom for you, so you can just go crazy. And again, basic blacks if you need it, right over there in my closet, okay? Alrighty, well, I look forward to spending this Renfaire with you, and I hope you have a really great time. Good night. Good night. Good night. Sleep well.